I met a Gyps.
Yeah.
Danny Way posted on Instagram today saying that he got like stem cells in every joint in his body today, and he was saying he was like it's ironic that to cure pain you need to go through pain.
Yeah.
And I'd never thought of it like that, man. But like you get injured and you experience this crazy pain, and then to come back from an injury, to really come back, you've got to put yourself through sometimes worse pain than what you initially went through to get back.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like I'm weird or something, but like I don't reckon there's any better feeling than being on the ground just completely destroyed, eh? Like, you know, when you're on the ground and you're like, not in like but more of a mental way, like you'll be laying on the ground just completely fucked, like destroyed with broken bones. And you know that usually, well, I'd like to hope most of the time my recent bad crashes anyway, I'm happy that I'm on the ground because I know that I've pushed above where my comfort zone is, and I know that I'm changing the sport hopefully in a progressive way. So when I hit the ground, I'm like, all right, that was actually pretty cool, because even though I'm like dying on the ground right now, I know that I've given it my best, and now I know what to do next time so I don't do this. And like I had a pretty good example of that just last Sunday. It was like I was sitting, like tested this feature that we've just built for a project, and I kind of was worried about it working. I've just never built one before, and I've never ridden one before. Rode it, 2-wheel cased it, went over the bars.
Oh.
Basically fell like 30 feet and wrapped around a tree, and it was just like laying there so winded and kind of trying to get my breath back. But I was so pissed off that I was happy, kind of thing. Like, and I was just sitting there like trying to get my breath back, winded, but I was kind of like drowning in blood because I was coughing up a heap of blood from my lungs. And like that like moment of like determination when I was just sitting there like looking at all the blood around me that I just coughed up, I was like, this is kind of where I want to be at to an extent, because, you know, I know that now I know not what to do in the future. like I've done that, and now I've learnt my lesson. I know what I need to do next time to avoid that happening, sort of thing. I've got the shit out of the way.
Dude,
if that makes sense, I don't know.
It does make sense intellectually,
yeah,
but experientially, it does not make sense to me. Like, I mean, that being said though, it's actually might be a good person to talk to about this. Like, I actually have been crashing a bit lately.
Yeah. And
I normally don't crash that much, and I'm pretty fucking over crashing. But like, even the other day, I went and I was riding that new 125 I got.
Yeah.
And I just had a stupid crash at the end of the day. Bang, hit my shoulder, and it's been like 3 weeks I've been able to ride. And that was probably like one of the first days ever where I crashed, and I knew, I was like, okay, you're definitely not riding for a few weeks.
Yeah.
And but it didn't really fuck with my mood that much. Like, I actually I had the sickest day riding, and I was so pumped.
Yeah.
But I'm a fucking crash averse dude. Like, I just don't. And jumps, like, I'm just not really that down to like really send jumps, because I just don't. I don't know. Fuck, I just don't really want to go through the shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I ain't pushing motocross forward by doing that.
Well, it's doing whatever you want to do. Like, you're pushing it in a way that you want to do it. But I guess it's I always had them. Like, I still don't want to crash. I'm definitely not going out wanting to crash. Yeah. And I think it's a big part of why something that I learned from my mate Jack that I was talking about before. Like, and I said in the Matt McDuff podcast as well. I got to the top of the hill one. I think it might have even been on that day we did the GoPro, and he was like, I was just running cutoffs, but it said knee pads. And he's like, dude, why are you running those? I was like, I don't know. Like, he's like, what, are you planning on crashing? I hope not.
That's some Kiwi farmer wisdom, eh?
Yeah, and then I kind of backed off the knee pads since then, pretty much. I was like, that's good point. I don't want to crash. Like, and it's saying that I guess I've got that mindset now where like I really don't want to crash, but I know that if I do crash, it's probably going to be a worthy point. Like, I probably deserve the crash because I've done something. I've pushed myself too far, or I've like just, I don't know, I'm trying to be too good for myself, kind of thing.
It's a heavy. There's always a real heavy moment though when you do decide to do something gnarly.
Yeah.
And it's like, I haven't got too many of those because like I don't do that much gnarly shit. But I mean, in, you know, the times where I have jumped some pretty big jumps and I like haven't been real confident in myself and I haven't, like, I don't know, the respect, and that's why I said I'm a professional fan, like the respect I have for guys like you that can sit at the top of some of the roll-ins that you've got to sit at and fucking pull the trigger on some of these jumps is insane to me.
Yeah, I think like with that whole attitude, it's like last Sunday, I woke up in the morning and I was saying to my friend, I was like, are you nervous? I was like, yeah, I'm pretty nervous. I kind of know it's going to go two ways. I'm either going to go to hospital or I'm going to ride out. Like I knew that, and it's kind of gotten to the point now where I know I will have stupid crashes here and there and you'll cop a graze or a broken bone like fully out of the blue. But majority of the time when you are riding the really gnarly stuff where like I run a neck brace full time. If I'm riding like the Fest series jumps, I always run a chest plate now.
Yeah.
But for the other stuff, like I know that if I crash, I've got bigger stuff on my mind than grazing my knee with a knee pad kind of thing. Like I know I'm pretty much like am guaranteed that I'm probably going to be in hospital if I crash. So it's kind of just a risk. I'd rather be comfortable when I'm not crashing, and then when I do crash, I've probably wrecked something more than.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.